Today we're going to be working on replacing our leather seat base that's all torn up on our Lexus GX470. This is a bit of a process, but totally doable in an afternoon. Let's get started. So the first things first, what we want to do is remove the entire seat from the vehicle. So the 4 bolts holding it to the vehicle need removed, and then get it unplugged, the 3 connectors underneath, and get it out of the vehicle. Once removed from the vehicle, we need to start disassembling the seat. We're going to pop off the buttons on the side of the seat first. From there, there's 2 screws underneath them. We need to get these loosened and removed. Then at the rear of the seat, there's 1 more screw on this plastic piece helping hold it in. There's also 1 on the other side we'll remove as well. We're going to go to the right side of the seat. With that screw removed from the back, we can unclip the plastic piece and slide it up past the seat belt. And now on the left side of the seat, we can pull off the side of the rear. And at the front, connected to the front plastic piece, there is a small screw that is holding it to it. But for now, we're going to unclip the connectors to the lumbar support. And then that will give us enough space to undo that little screw up at the top, holding it to the other plastic piece. We're going to tip the seat back real quick. There are 2 screws holding in the rest of that front plastic piece, 1 on the left and 1 on the right side. With those removed, the plastic piece can be removed easily. Underneath, we need to unplug a few things that are connected to the seat, like the seat warmers specifically, so we'll unplug that, and then we'll pull off the clip that's connected to the metal bar underneath. And then on the sides of the seat, you have the little plastic pieces that help hold to the seat and keep it snug. You're going to want to start to get these unclipped. Luckily, they don't come off too difficult. Then back onto the left side of the seat, we need to remove the little box that all your buttons were plugged into for the seat controls. 3 screws on that will have it removed, and then you can also unplug that so it's out of the way. Get the rest of those plastic pieces, now that that box is out of the way, unclipped, and the whole seat base will start to be close to released. At the back of the seat, there are a few wires that run through the leather, so make sure you unclip the back of the seat so that can come up and through the seat as you pull it out. And then those wires will also feed through that cutout circle so they don't get stuck on anything. There is one additional connector you will see that needs unplugged as you start to remove the seat, and there it is. Now that the seat has been removed, we need to remove the actual leather itself. For that, we need to clip the hog rings that hold it in place. A pair of pliers will do the trick. These are pretty hard to actually cut and snip, so be patient and find a stable surface to do it on. There are 4 down each side of the seat and 3 in the middle. Get them unclipped, and then we will have the whole leather seat base removed from the foam. Now with the leather seat cover removed, we need to transfer over the heated seat element over to the new one. We also do not need the bars that run through the old seat, as the new one has kind of built-in bars that are going to be used in the seat. So what we need to first do is unclip all the little tabs, those little plastic tags that hold the seat heating element to it. Once you get all of them unclipped, the whole thing should just lift out. We're going to move it over and check out what's different from my seat and the original. So this one doesn't have a hole in the back, so we will cut a small hole. And then on the side, there's no hole for that little clip. But actually, at the end, I don't really need that. I did make 1 hole and put 1 in, but it doesn't really need to be added, in my opinion. Now, with our heating element from our seat, we need to get that installed. To do this simply, I'm going to use headliner adhesive, just a little bit. It mostly just needs to stay in place. So we're just going to spray a couple lines of it across, and we're just going to do each section one at a time to get it kind of lined up where we want it. And this adhesive is going to be just strong enough without really causing any issues at all. It's a very simple way to get it added back in without having to get one of those little tag guns to tag it back in like how it was. So we're going to tack it in place in all those spots. Just do a couple sections at a time to get it placed exactly where you want it, and then you're going to have your heating element back in your seat, which is definitely what you want if you live somewhere cold. With that all taken care of, now it's time to get it put back onto the foam base. Now, we are not going to be using hog rings because I do not have one of those crimpers for it or the rings themselves. And a more simplistic way to do so, you can actually use zip ties. Now, it can be slightly difficult, but it still is definitely doable, and you can always replace them easily too if you want. I highly suggest nylon zip ties for their ability to last longer. The other thing I would say is once you get them in place, swivel down that little square part of the zip tie so it's not up towards the top part of the seat, just in case you would feel it. But I slid all mine down once they were about 50% tight. You do not need to cinch them down 100% of the way, and slid those down. And honestly, after all this is all said and done, I do not feel them, and I do not think it affects the seat at all. So it works incredibly well if you have any of those like 4 to 5, 6 inch zip ties. Then we're going to just make sure we get everything snugly pushed back in to the leather. Make sure it's all in there nice before we put it in the seat. And overall, before it's even put in, it looks like it's hugging it pretty nicely already too. And once we get it pulled tightly back to the seat, that will be nice. We ran our line through that back hole that we cut so that wire could go through it again. And now we're going to start pulling it kind of down and lightly getting it in place. We're going to put our sides back on. We're going to put our buttons back in. We're going to screw those down. We're going to get our sides back on. Luckily, we've already attached the plastic where the seat needs to hug onto the sides of the seat. Those side ones are easy to re-add to the seat and get it in place. We can get everything else kind of in its spots. These cables, or these little flaps for the rear of the seat that were a little bit loose, I've tied mine actually some knots on them so they're a little bit tighter, so that'll hold a little bit tighter. Make sure you get your seat plugged back in. And arguably the hardest part of this whole process is getting that last front part of the seat nice and tight up against it. Just take your time and you can get it back up there. A little bit of heat from a heat gun too will help that plastic mold a little easier. But I got mine back in place. We reconnected all of our plastics, and our seat is all buttoned up. Everything's wrapped up. The seat is nice and tight. This cover fit really nicely. Everything I used in this video is in the description. Get that seat back in your vehicle. It looks so much better, and it's so much nicer to sit on too. It feels a lot better. It's just not worn out. It's got it's more plump feeling too, even. Despite the cushion underneath it having some wear on it. But this is a lot nicer. Definitely recommend it. If you found the video helpful, please leave a like so others can find it. And make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on future content. Other than that, I'll see all of you in the next video.